This is part 2 of my Alicorn video, and I was gonna show you guys the second OC that I have. If you haven't watched my first video, go watch my first video so you can catch up with this one. I highly recommend it because I'm gonna skip some things. But this is my second OC that I was talking about in the first video. She is a unicorn who wants to be an alicorn so bad, but the only thing she can do is give. She's really good at magic. She can do certain magics mastered, and she can't do a lot of magics. And I have a friend who is really good at something, but she doesn't put enough effort into like finishing what she started. And this is based, and that's one of my friends that she has in there. When she's really good at something, she will not finish it. And then that's where Alicorn Miranda comes in. She'll help her. So they're kind of like two peas in a pot. They help each other. And so the downfalls that my Alicorn have, she makes up with her best friend. And that's what I want to have. Because a lot of my friends help me in a lot. But where I stopped, I think, in the last video was with talking about how Celestia sent my OC to school. Now, if you watched a lot of My Little Pony theories, videos, it's a really, really dark children's show. To me, it's really, really dark, and that's what pulls me to My Little Pony is the creativity that's in it. And because that Celestia has been known to be the worst emperor of her whole place, which I'm not going to really give my opinions on that right now, because this video isn't sponsored by Hasbro. This is just saying, this is my thoughts on it. But Celestia feels that because she has so much magic, she can at least get some of it out. So she sends her to the magic school that they have in Cantrelot. But that's where she meets the second OC. And she's been bullied by these two other unicorns because everybody was like, oh, it's an alicorn here. We're so happy. She can use magic of all types. She's a princess. And come to find out that she's not. Everybody just doesn't like her. And that's usually a case in a lot of situations where people think you're better than something. And then when you show them actually who you are, they're like, hey, what the heck, man? You're not the way what we thought you are. Well, that's the case for a lot of things. And with her, she meets her friend who is good at, she can master certain magics. But about time, like, she gets to something that's really, really difficult, like, she can do things that are difficult, but she cannot extend her difficulties. So that's where my OC helps her at. And what she thought, my OC thought at first that she was an alicorn because she had wings on. She thought she was an alicorn, but she wasn't even powerful. She was just mastered certain things. And her best friend stood up for her, and they become really, really tight. And then later in my storyline, where she was at her worst, she was getting ready to quit school. She was hollering back at Celestia, which was very, very bad. She was always crying for her father. Her father could not see her but every few months. And of 2 months of a year, no, 2 times a year and every few months of that year. And those few months, her father can only see her for about 2 to 3 weeks because she lives in Cantrelot. And he has to spend bits to see her, and he does not have enough bits because he doesn't have enough popularity. And what he was trying to contact Celestia was to try to get her to make space somewhere in Cantrelot and somewhere in Ponyville, but there's not enough space for them to set up a huge tent because the things that they do have a lot of room. So it's kind of like trying to find the room a size of a fairground, pretty much, to put everything at, because you have audience participation in a lot of their shows. And you have a pony who can fly, but she can use trampolines. And her trampolines are really elastic, and the unicorns help give more elastic to them. And she can pretty much fly just like the Pegasus can. And what this happens in the show is that Alicorn Miranda really starts, since she doesn't seem like she doesn't do good in school, what she starts doing was staying with her dad. when she meets this pony, she is confused, like, how are you different and everybody's not making fun of you? Well, she says because you got to stand up for what you believe you're strong in. And that's where all my story is going to come from, is that when you feel like you can't do something and somebody's bothering you, ignore them, because I was just like that in high school. I was being bullied a lot. I felt like my mother didn't help me at all. So I ended up learning on my own just to leave folks alone. Like, I'm completely different. Prom night was so hilarious. There was this guy who bullied me ever since elementary school, and I was in prom. I had on makeup, and I had on this pink dress and everything. And I came in, he's like, "Wow, you look beautiful." And I was like, "Thank you." But I still ignored him. But that's just how it felt. I just did not pay any attention to him. And also, about my Alicorn OC, the reason why I like her is because, it's not just because she's like me, but it's because my Alicorn symbolizes so much. Just because she has the looks of someone who's powerful, the walk, she's just your average Earth girl. She's different than everybody else, and that's what I like. I like different. So I made an Alicorn that was completely different, that I haven't seen anyone else do. And I've been scared to put her out there, and now that I have a YouTube channel, hoping so I can get popular, I'm starting to put her out there. That's why she's here. She'll probably be in all my videos. She's going to help with card giveaways. When I start playing my games, I'm going to start betting on everybody. So if you're ready to be able to pay for some stuff, click that like and subscribe button, and I will try to get my games recorded. I need the money so I can get my computer fixed, and we will start. Probably the first video I am hoping to record is Wolf Soul, if not Jurassic World, and then there's a second one I will try to start doing Source of Chaos, because those videos will take a long time, and I want a video for you guys that'll be at least 30 minutes time, or if not 20 minutes. But right now I'm probably going to do 15 minutes because of the YouTube thing, and I probably won't do reaction videos right now because people have been getting strikes on that, and YouTube's been cutting down on a lot. So I'm going to try to keep everything as clean as I can, as fresh as I can. Will you stop it? He's back there playing. I will try to get the dog into some shots if y'all want to see him. And then I have a lot of, if you go back over my old videos, I have tons of fish, but I'm actually thinking about trading fish out for a fancy mouse, and I'm not sure. I'm thinking of getting a hamster. I want something small, but I don't want something that's like fish anymore. The only fish I'll probably get is goldfish, because the longest I've had a goldfish was 10 years. And it was my fault. I messed that up. I didn't clean out the tank in time. I had them in a cheese ball container. This was back in like a few years ago, like when I was like 13 or so. I had them in the cheese ball container, and I was supposed to clean their tank out the same day, but I got tired and went to school the next day, and I forgot. And so they dirtied the cheese ball container up, and then they died basically in their own crap and food. And he was about, I think, this big. He was a really, like 8 inches, I think I had his last. I used to take him out, and then I would measure them and then put them back in. I think he was like 8.5 inches or so. And he was like about this big around. I love thick goldfish for some reason. I do not know why. Also, to introduce myself a little more, I love being outside. I used to be a light caramel color, like my dad. But I loved being outside. And also, a little more about why I'm doing YouTube is because I was just inspired to do it. And the things I want to do, I want to do everything, because there's some YouTubers out there who can't do everything because they're so good at one thing that everybody's like, oh, do this more, do that more. I want to do everything, at least 2 to 3 videos a week when I get the time. But I am